Hello, hello. I am Terry Hartley from Rustic Barn Cards. Welcome. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I'm so happy that you've joined me today for my weekly Tuesday video, although you may be watching this on replay on a different day. Today we're going to be using the Country Bouquet stamp set along with the punch to make some cards, and I'm going to step it up a little bit. We'll start with a simple stamps, ink, and paper, and then we'll step it up. So come on and let's start stamping. But first I need to put a plug in, because if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow my channel, and this is a way that I can get my videos out to more people. I appreciate it. Thank you. I wanted to remind you that celebration is going on through the end of this month, so February 28th of 2023, and we are only having one celebration this year. And what is celebration? Well, when you place a $50 order, or for every $50 order that you place, you can choose an item out of the celebration, and it is just full of goodies. We do have level 1 choices for free with a $50 order. So if you place a $50 order, you can look in here and you can decide if you want this stamp set Adorable Owls, or maybe you want the stamp set Thanks a Bunch, or you'd rather have the Designer Series paper, and on. Or there are some level 2 items. When you place a $100 order, there are some items you can choose. Of course, if you place a $100 order, you can choose one of the items free that say free with a $100 purchase, or you can choose any two of the free with a $50 purchase. Then in the back of the brochure is this host. You can have a party where everyone places an order, or you can place your own order, and if your order or your party's order is $150 or more, you can choose this host stamp set Scenic Garden, which is free. But the best deal right now that's going on with Stampin' Up! Is the starter kit. We are having a promotion during celebration, and you have three options. Bring that down a little bit. So the third option is our regular, although it's more product during celebration. So option 3, you can purchase a starter kit, choose $175 worth of product, and that can be from the mini spring catalog or the annual catalog, and pay $99. Option 2 is that you can receive the original white mini cut and emboss machine, your choice of $175 worth of product for $129. And then option 1 is the boho blue mini machine, your choice of $175 worth of Stampin' Up! Products, and you pay $129. Once you do that, you'll start receiving a discount for all of your very first order. You'll start receiving a discount. There is no strings attached, so you can just enjoy all the perks of joining Stampin' Up! And you can either continue when those perks at time runs out, if you don't do anything, or you can continue. I would love to have you join my team, which is the Rustic Barn Stampers. We have a lot of fun. We meet together. We have a Facebook group, and we meet on Zoom. I have training. I update everybody on what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World. So most of my team members are hobby demonstrators, which is great. But anyone that wants to have a business, I also will help them too. So again, some other perks from taking advantage of the starter kit, especially right now during celebration, because it is the best deal that we have. And you will receive catalogs early. You have an opportunity to order early, to do pre-order. And the best part is belonging to a community of crafters and getting to know people from all over the world. And this is our mini catalog, and today we are going to be using the Country Bouquet bundle, and I used this last week, and I will put the video up in the description at the end in case you didn't see that. But today I'm going to use this again for because Valentine's Day is just a week away, and this is Country Floral Lane Suite. Last week I used the ribbon and I used this gingham paper, but today we are going to be using the bundle, the punch and the stamp set. Okay, let's get started stamping. So let me show you the card. What we're going to do, we're going to make this card, then I'm going to make, I'm going to step it up. So first we're just using stamp, ink, and paper. I love that we are friends. So this card you could send to someone on Valentine's Day and put Happy Valentine's Day inside, because we do have a stamp that says Happy Valentine's Day in the Country Bouquet stamp set. Or you could just send this to your friend any time of the year, right? So you're going to need a card base. And this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I like to use basic white thick for my card bases. And then all my other layers and die cuts, I use the basic white. And then you're going to need sweet sorbet, and this is cut at 5 1/4. 5 1/4 by 4. So 5 1/4 by 4. And we are going to start our stamping. And I'm going to use this heart. You have a heart that has, this heart is filled in where the other heart is not. So here you have a heart. That's the outline of the hearts, but I'm using this stamp right here. And I'm going to bring in some sweet sorbet ink. And I am just going to stamp the hearts on my sweet sorbet cardstock, this layer, and just randomly. I did put some paper underneath, just kind of protect my grid paper. So do you see how we have that extra ink that is being picked up on our block? Well, I clean that off, and I need to go straight down and not roll it. So I just need to tap. And this is a photopolymer stamp set. And sometimes I use the piercing mat because it gives a little cushion. This is a small stamp, and I just, as long as I give some pressure, I think we'll be all right. I don't have to do completely the entire layer because some of this will be covered up. All right, that looks good. I'm going to lay this aside. I'm going to bring in a scrap of basic white. And I'm going to bring in the two hearts, and they are attached. from our stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up in the Sweet Sorbet. And then I'm going to stamp that right here on our scrap of Basic White. And then I have just a scrap. This is just leftover from a card that I made. But I'm going to use it. I mean, I'm not going to use the entire length, but I just grabbed that. And I'm going to bring in our sentiment, which is, I love that we are friends. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up in our Sweet Sorbet. And then we are going to stamp that. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. If I could cut straight, I would just take some scissors and snip that, but I don't trust myself. I'm going to leave a little room to, I think I'll cut that just a little bit shorter. Let's make it about 2.5. Now I'll grab my scissors and we'll make a little banner. So I'm just going to cut right here in the middle. And there we have our banner. We're going to bring in our heart and leaf punch that comes with the bundle. And then I'm going to place our heart. Get that lined up. Then you need a scrap of Granny Apple Green for the leaves. And I think this is about 3/4 of an inch. And you could do like maybe an inch. But I wanted to not waste a lot of the cardstock. So I'm just sliding it right in here. And then you can see that I'll have a little bit of extra, but I didn't waste a lot. All right, let's go ahead and bring in this layer and add it to our card. I've added some adhesive for multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to just place this Sweet Sorbet layer that we stamped on with little hearts. And then I used the Stylish Shapes dies, and I used next to the largest square. So I use this one right here. So you'll need a scrap of Basic White for that, but I have already cut this out. So we are going to pop this up on our card, and we're going to pop up our sentiment, and then we'll finish decorating it. I've added 4 dimensionals. I'm not putting one in the middle because we are going to have our heart, and that will take care of the middle for us. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of line this up so the side and the top and the other side, so the right and the left and the top is about even. And then we're going to add a couple dimensionals to our sentiment. I love that we are friends. And we will pop this up right down here. And then we're going to go ahead and add our hearts. We're going to pop them up with dimensionals and add our leaves. So let me do that. So I brought the card closer. I have dimensionals on the back of our hearts. I'm going to put the small one first because that will help me determine where I want to put the larger heart to make sure that it fits. There we go. Then we'll bring in the leaves. Now I use mini dimensionals on the leaves and the small heart, and then I just used our regular dimensionals on the larger heart. And of course we want to add some bling. I'm going to bring in those red rhinestones, and we will pick one up. Don't know how it's going to look. I think it'll look okay. Wasn't sure it would show up on the sweet sorbet, but it does. It certainly does. I think I'm going to put one right here. And let's put a couple over here. So here's our first card. Very simple. Stamps, ink, and paper. I love that we are friends. And here I did not add any embellishment on the first card I showed you, but we added some embellishments on the second card. Now let's make another card and step it up. So for our second card, we are going to use Basic White Thick card base, cut it 8.5 by 5.5. And then we have a layer of Granny Apple Green, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have Sweet Sorbet, which is 5 by 3 3/4. And we're going to do the same thing on the Sweet Sorbet. We're just going to ink up the heart and then just randomly stamp this on this layer. So I went ahead and did that. And then we are going to add the Sweet Sorbet to our Granny Apple Green. And then I have a third card that I'm going to share with you that is similar, but I use some Designer Series paper, which I'm not using on these first two cards. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere these two layers to our card front of our card base. And then again, I have already cut out the next to the largest square of the stylish shapes. And let me go ahead and bring in, again, just a strip of extra basic white. And we're going to bring in I Love That We Are Friends, which I used a different sentiment in this next card that I'm going to show you. You know, I think what we are going to do, let's, instead of the red sorbet, let's go ahead and bring out the Granny Apple Green. And I think we'll just go ahead and stamp the sentiment in Granny Apple Green. I love that we are friends. And then we're going to do this again. Let me clean that. Then we're going to go ahead and ink up in the Sweet Sorbet. And then we will decide, or I guess I will decide, which one that we will use. And now I'm going to lay that aside for right now and bring in a scrap of Basic White. And we are going to go ahead and bring in our heart. And we will want to go ahead and ink this up. And stamp this. We stamp it towards the bottom of our scrap of paper. Then it'll be easier for it to fit in the punch. I think it's a little bit wide. I may have to cut our scrap of paper down. Let's see. I think we're finished with our stamping. So let me bring in our punch. Now it looks like we can fit that in there just fine. So we'll go ahead and get our hearts punched out. Get that lined up. There we go. I'm going to bring in Granny Apple Green, and I want 2 leaves. All right, get some of it. Well, we need that leaf. Get some of this other mess out of our way. And we'll pop up our starry shape. So I added dimensionals, and we are going to go ahead and place this about right here. I'm going to bring in our trimmer, and here we have our sentiment. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that right there. And then we're going to make this into a banner too. So you can just decide how long you want yours to be. And we'll just cut it just right between, kind of in the middle, make a little line, and then go to that corner up to, and you have a little banner. This one looks like I'm going to make it just a little bit. Could have cut this off just a little bit shorter, it looks like, but I think it'll work. All right. And let's go ahead and we will pop up our flowers and our leaves, and then we'll decide on which color of sentiment that we'll use. All right, so we have our dimensionals on our large heart. And once again, I'm going to put this small heart first to get it lined up. Then we'll place the point of the heart kind of like right there in that opening, but up a little bit. We'll add our leaf. I just put a mini dimensional. And all right, so do we want, I love that we are friends, in the Granny Apple Green, or do we want it in the Sweet Sorbet? I think I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green, because I think that kind of ties it together more with the layer of Granny Apple Green, the leaves, and then the sentiment. But of course, you could most certainly use the Sweet Sorbet. So let me add some dimensionals. And we'll put this right down here. Bring in those red rhinestones. And I take your pick tool. I'm going to use that putty in. Sometimes I use the spatula in. So just all right. I guess we're going to use this pointy end. You slide it off, pick it up. I think I have a little too much putty up here. All right, let's pick up another one. And we will put it right down here. All right, let's look at our cards. So, and I have one more card to share with you. So this is the second card, but let me bring in the first card. So here's the first card that we made. Just stamps, ink, and paper. And then we stepped it up by using a layer of Granny Apple Green. The same format, we stamped our Sweet Sorbet layer and used, and everything's the same, except we did add Granny Apple Green sentiment. I love that we are friends. So again, you can use this, this card can be for Valentine's Day, or it could be any time of the year to send to your friends, or you could add Happy Valentine's Day. My third card I want to share with you, I used the Designer Series paper, which is Fancy Flora in the new Spring Mini Catalog. Beautiful, beautiful paper. And here it is. And I did stamp Happy Valentine's Day. So it's basic white card base, a layer of Orchid Oasis, and then the beautiful Fancy Flora Designer Series paper. And I stamped the hearts with Orchid Oasis, and I used Soft Succulent to pull out the Soft Succulent from the Designer Series paper. And I added Happy Valentine's Day sentiment, and I did not, as you can see, did not make a banner with this. But I wanted to show you for the embellishments. I use these adhesive back Milky Dots that are in the new Spring Mini Catalog. And then I just took Orchid Oasis Stampin' Blends, and I colored 3 of these. So, I don't know if you can tell or not, but so I color them so that gives a tint of the Orchid Oasis. Otherwise, it would have been, you know, a little bit clearer there. So, again, that was with Stampin' Blends. So here are my 3 cards for this week. Stamps, ink, and paper, stepped it up, and then a third card. Let me know which card that you like the best. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking that subscribe button. I'm really trying to grow my channel, and it also helps to get the videos out to everyone. So if you give me a thumbs up, that helps in that way. And leaving a comment, I appreciate it. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And in the description, you will find the measurements for my card today. Thank you.